Mission, I'm mission. Trying to get it right. Transition, changing the way that I see life. Transition mind. I'm on a mission, trying to get it right. I'm transitioning my life. Making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making a transition. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making a transition. Mission, a mission. I'm on a mission. On a mission, I'm trying to get it right. Changing the way that I see life. Transition in my life. On a mission. On a mission. On a mission.
There is a lot going on with this whole Trump thing. He's deporting people. He's putting up tariffs, and it's there the vote it's split. You have some people that are on the African American side that feel like this whole thing is needed, but then you have mainstream media that's like, oh no, they're worried. You know what I'm saying? So I want to show both sides, and I want to open up the panel. This is an open panel, guys. If anyone wants to come up and say something, but people are in panic mode because, like, it's a lot being said about what's really going on with this situation. When it really comes down to it, it's a lot of people that are really concerned about what the plan is because Trump himself said this is going to be a lot of pain at first, and then it's going to like even out. So I guess that they're going to try to kind of break down the economy to build it up. I don't know if that's a good thing. One of the medias the Midas touch, I'm going to like play some of his video. He's saying that the economy was on the upswing and it was actually an enviable economy, and now they're trying to break everything down and I think kind of make America self-sufficient. Now, we all seen what happens when certain countries start to try to like edge out. I mean, I've been to Cuba before. I'm not sure if anybody else been to other countries that like have that kind of a mindset. But I mean, I know Cuba still got the same old cars from back in 1950 when they started doing going against. But I'm not sure exactly what the history of Cuba. Let me just stop there because I don't really know. But I think that at some point there was like tariffs put on them to where they were unable to get new cars, get new anything. And so now they're still driving old 19 whatever cars. So I don't know exactly what's about to happen. It's interesting that he's getting like feedback from Elon Musk. I'm still trying to understand what's going on, but I wanted to show a video from our brother Sarah Sutanseti and what his thoughts were on this whole thing with the deportation. Video credit goes out to Sarah Sutanseti. Shouts out to him. Please support him. Um, General Seti, please support him. But let's see what he had to say about this because it's there's a break. There's like a one side is saying this is bad. Then you have like kind of like the FBA movement that say, you know what, it's good because I guess they feel like they're going to benefit from it in some kind of a way. When all like the trade and everything stops, then maybe more jobs will open up in America. Let's like talk about what could possibly happen. Let's go into let's get into
Black American hip hop legacies. We got it all up there, fam. We got this one too. Noah's Fire. Noah. The link is right there on the screen. It's in the video description.
And please support him and his platform.
And donate.
I'm just using this. This is just me for
you, and I thank you again.
Using this
Make
for
sure you subscribe
commentary
to all my
purposes.
YouTube channels: King Seti, General Seti, Sarasun Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share with your family and friends. and comment. Just don't say nothing stupid, because I will ban your ass. You be done for. All right. So a lot of things going on in the country since Donald Trump has become president, and it's just been like a world upside down. You feel me? What just come in and just eradicate everything that was in place before he got here. The shit is over with. It's a new day. Good or bad, it's a new day, and some motherfuckers is, you got to transform in these days and time. You got to transform. You can't be stagnant in your beliefs or nothing. You just got to move forward in your plan. You can't stand still. You got to keep moving. You got to keep your eyes on everything out here. That's just the way it is. Close the border, deport illegals, drug cartels are terrorists. Now, Seti, what is you talking about?
So before we get into that, I just want to also say, now I also did a live, like I think yesterday at about 1:00, 1:30, that's talking about the whole like boycotts that are going on, the DEI where you have Al Sharpton doing boycotts and all this other stuff, and you have some people that are for it, some people that are against it. Like the black community is being divided on a thin line about these issues. So I'm not sure where we're going to fall when all this stuff really comes out. So I believe that we should be like stocking up. I don't know. We should be like getting with local farmers. That's what I believe. And if anyone else believes it, if you know any local farmers, we could create a list or something like that. Let me know if people are interested in that. But I think that we should, because I think that when they start raising these prices on these groceries, people are going to start starving. You know what I'm saying? And they are willing to do that just to like have some control over some kind of deficit. But really what it is it's really a stock market thing where they're trying to drive down the cost of the stocks in certain things and then buy low and then come up when everything levels out and really be even more powerful. That's what's sad about this whole thing, is really a money grab. But let's go.
A lot of people say, Seti, man, you got a lot of the immigrants that's crying. They saying that black people. I hear a lot of niggas out here quoting this shit too, and see, I gotta. It's a time for all things. You feel me? It's a time for all things, and it's a time to hit that goddamn reset button. And this is what's happening. It's time to hit the reset button, and let and water go seek its own level. It got to be. It can't. You cannot expect that. Everything is gonna stay the same forever. It's not. It's not. When things is so. Money is just flowing all over the place and shit, and people can miss a few dollars here and there. And so
It's not just a reset, but honey, they hit the hard reset. They put the pin in the bottom of the phone, and they about to wipe everything clean as hell, and then start that phone back up like it's it is gonna probably have no operating system on it. And they're gonna just start from fresh. That is what's interesting about this whole thing. Think of it. It's not just a reset. This ain't a power down. This is a uh, uh zero operation. I mean, a hard reset. If you got a phone, you got like an Android or an iPhone. When you put that pin on the bottom of that phone, it'll erase everything that's on there and it'll give you an option. So, do you want to do a reset? What you want to do? So, this is a hard reset going on. So, during the hard reset, you know that you can't use your phone for a certain amount of time before it begin to reset. So, I believe they're trying to reset things for this new cryptocurrency, like this federal crypto that's going to exist, because America's not backed by any gold. They're trying to do the gold standard in Africa. They're trying to figure out a way to recover if we get hit by that whole gold standard. And if they go onto a digital standard, then maybe they feel like they're putting us on a separate kind of a monetary standard and be able to like have control that way. Let's go.
If somebody creep over the border and shit, and this, that, and the third, people don't give a goddamn. But now, this ain't the United States of, as they say, even 50 years ago, even 60, 70 years ago, when you hear.
Honey, we have to come up with a plan now. I wish we would have listened to Dr. Claude Anderson back then about group economics, but I guess it takes somebody you have to fuck around and keep and find out. You know what I'm saying? We just keep fucking around thinking the government gonna be there for us, but you know what? they fixing to cut off all these things, and who knows what they're gonna do with those people. You know what I'm saying? When they start to starve, where they gonna put them? You know what I'm saying? This is turning. I don't know. I'm not trying to fear monger, but this is getting kind of scary. But there's a lot of like FBA backers. I feel like maybe this is what we needed. Maybe as African Americans, people that are foundational black, maybe we need a reset. Maybe this is for our benefit. I'm not sure. What do you think? Let's go.
Hear people talk about how much a dollar was worth in 1940 and 1950 and shit, and this, that, and inflation and shit, and this, that, and the third. So people had to hit reset. And so, now it's it's very serious about people sneaking across that goddamn border. It's always been serious. It's always been serious. I mean, they've been talking about this shit since 9/11, for real, for real. That, even when the terrorists, a lot of people don't, believe that, it was, these terrorists that did that. I don't give a goddamn what you believe. It's time to tighten up on black people, security as far as their community, what's happening and shit. And like, what I think about, the southern border, a lot of you niggas just don't understand the damage that many of them nations south of the United States, what they have done to black people in general, as far as pushing all that dope and shit across this border. What niggas gonna do, they with they old Grinch ass, where the niggas took it. See, y'all some lame niggas.
This is a different perspective that I didn't even consider. You know what I'm saying? We might be we're trying to make the plight of the whole business aspect and the corporate aspect. Oh, we might be losing trade. It's gonna make things go up in price. Well, I mean, what can we say? I mean, if you ain't got no job, everything's expensive any damn way. Because if you can't find a job, it's gonna be expensive anyway. If you ain't got no income coming in, so I mean, there's two ways you could look at it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. There was people that was brought over. I don't know what they was brought over for the election or what that was, but bring them over real quick, and then now we're shooting them back out like they just nothing, like cattle. Like, oh, okay, now that we got our purpose out of you, okay, well, send them back now. Reset the government. This sounds like people just don't know what the hell. What are they doing? I mean, I don't get it. But you know what? He is right about this. All the D rugs come from those South American places, China, and sometimes they come in through Canada. So he have to secure the borders. There's a lot of people that's passing because they're fentanyl abuse. You have a whole area in Philadelphia called what's it called, Kensington. Man, they look like it's like zombie land. You know what I'm saying? So, and all those things, from what I'm understanding, that stuff come from China. So it seemed like to me like he's trying to get control over this situation that's going on. I don't know where the tariffs are coming into play at. I don't know what the reason for the tariffs are. Is he trying to bring all the work inside the country? But Canada is pretty much threatening. Like, listen, y'all do this, it's gonna be over. We're not fixing to, and he's trying to propose. Well, listen, you just become the 51st state, and you ain't got to worry about a tariff. So it sounds like to me Trump is trying to control the America, Canada, and Mexico and get them all to join together, because there's going to be a new currency coming up over there with that whole Russia, China, this, that, the other. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't know. Anybody else like kind of like see the connection?
You see, we got to get to the root. And if something been going on, and and you the leadership, you supposed to take care of your goddamn nation. And if people's is feeding off of your nation and they poisoning your nation, and you look all over the United States, people dying, they high, and shit and this, that. And so even if the people can't do nothing, leadership's supposed to do it. You see, leadership ain't supposed to have that excuse. How you gonna have a nation if you let another nation make dope fiends out of your citizens and shit like that? How did that gonna happen? How's that gonna happen? And we know where all this dope is coming from. China is also going to Mexico, with all that fentanyl and all that shit, and and putting it in flooding in the United States with all this dope. I know you niggas is say, oh, Seti, because you should have been transcended by now. We can't continue to live like this. This is 2025. And we have to elevate out of this dumb shit. We can't stay here forever. We can't stay here. Shit, niggas should have been outgrown the goddamn streets. We should have been elevated into far more, lucrative, states of being and shit, where it didn't require our lives to be on the line and put our people's life on the line and shit. We should have been goddamn elevated.
Man, and I listen. I'm gonna tell you what he is so right about this. It's like when it really comes down to it, I played a video on an earlier live where it was showing how they were just walking right through the border, and then we had to like let them on in. Nobody was even securing this area. It was on 60 Minutes. You know what I'm saying? Where they were just walking through. People from China, people from all over. And what's dangerous about that is that they have bases and stuff like that close to military bases and Chinese bases. Who knows if these drones that are hitting these planes are from China? Because it seemed to me like a attack. I don't know. It's not when something happens over and over again. It's not a coincidence. Okay, let's really talk about it. You know what I'm saying? It's hitting over here. It's hitting over here. There's fires breaking out. Drugs being brought into the thing. At some point, someone has to get control over it. And I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just saying that he makes a lot of sense when it really comes down to the drugs that are being pushed into this country.
These low levels of society still here, and a lot of what's going, where this dope is coming from across that border. And so, yeah, I'm most definitely with locking that shit down. Lock it down. I don't give a goddamn. I don't give a goddamn. And what people think is I don't know nobody. Don't give a goddamn. Real talk.
100%. Deborah, with discernment, we better start getting our gardens ready so that we are able to eat and we need to know what it is that we really are worried about, and that is not letting our people starve. I'm not sure when these tariffs go into effect, if it's immediately, but hell, people that like to shop on Amazon, you better hurry up and get your goods and stuff like that, your little survival kits, because it's fixing to go down. I'm gonna hurry up and get me a survival kit for my family. I was not thinking that this was gonna go down like this, but it's pretty scary. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of shit going on in Black America. And we supposed to lead critical issues that's going on with us. Nobody gave a fuck about us. Nobody gave a fuck about us. They've been locking our ass up in the United States in high regards for a long time and shit. The motherfuckers that come over here and maybe from other races that get locked up, yeah, they asses, they ass is the lowest of the low. You know what I'm saying? But with Black America, anybody that's Black is acceptable to being locked up and shit, this, that, and the third. If y'all come over here thieving and stealing and killing, you understand what I'm saying? That's on y'all motherfuckers. And they is doing that. I don't want nobody to make it seem like that the people's coming across that border is such nice peoples and shit. Y'all is crazy than a motherfucker. Like I said, I look at the facts. One time I was looking up, murder capital. I was just looking that up. And really what I was looking for was the murder capital of the United States. But this website brought up, matter of fact, I'll bring it up, the murder capital of the world. I say, and man, I say, what the fuck? Yeah. What the fuck? United States couldn't even get but 2 or 3 motherfucking cities up. Murder capitals of the world. Here it is right here. Most dangerous city.
Mexico City, veteran.
World's most dangerous cities by murder rate, 2024. Y'all motherfuckers is in a state of a fucking illusion. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you niggas. You see, I don't. This was one site. I didn't like this site because it didn't really give me what I wanted. It didn't give me let me see if this the one. I don't like that one. Wait a minute, here it go right here. List of cities by homicide rate. Yeah. Man, I can't even pronounce some of these motherfuckers. Man, this shit is crazy. I think is this the top 50? Yeah. This the top 50. And some of these cities, I can't even goddamn. So the top 50 nations in the world. And let me see. I know they got that in there too. That's crazy, man. That's fucking crazy. Colima, Mexico. 601 murders. Population only 330,000 people. That's 181 murders per. What is it? Is it what they do about 100,000? Yeah, per 100,000. Per 100,000. So, I mean, goddamn, you talking about a city that's 300. Number 1, Mexico. Number 2, Zamora, Mexico. 552. Y'all motherfucker murders in that one city. Population 310,000. That's one.
And listen, and then they just coming right over the border, and the first thing they did was, what did they bring? They brought that attitude over to America. I mean, I'm not against Mexican citizens and stuff like that, but I'm talking about these people that have been let out of prisons and then come right over here, and these cartels that are in, even in southern Texas. I live in Texas. There's a whole area in Texas that is pretty much like the cartel was actually shooting at the border patrol. You know what I'm saying? So this is not a lie, you guys. We need to really understand what's really happening here. So there's some aspect of what Trump is doing that makes a lot of sense when it really comes down to the borders. However, I don't know about the tariffs. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna look into that and see if this is right.
177 murders per 100,000. This other, I can't even pronounce it. Number 3 is also Mexico. 454 murders. A population 328. That's 138 murders per 100,000. Yeah, damn it, another one I can't. Zacatecas, Mexico. 490 murders. Population 363. I mean, goddamn, you know, three.
I love Sonny because he will go up there and not even know how to say the name, but you know what, the information, just go find the list and you'll probably be able to, like, you know, figure out how to pronounce it. But shouts out to City.
663,000. That's 134 murders. That's 134 murders per 100,000. Tijuana, Mexico. Look at this shit, man. Look at this shit. Now Tijuana, y'all, is 2,070,000. What a fucking 2,177 murders. You see, goddamn, that shit. Motherfucker talking about Chicago. Chicago is damn near what, 3 million. I mean, Chicago had about 600-700 murders one year, and it was like niggas was like, man, these niggas then went crazy. Here, this motherfucker Tijuana had 2,177 murders. I mean, and motherfuckers got enough nerve to be talking about why we closing the border, why the border need, and you got all these goddamn crazy ass cities in the nation right up under us. Is y'all motherfuckers, what kind of y'all niggas is on dope?
Man, let me tell you something. I mean, makes a lot of, what are we talking about here? And you know how many people cross that border to party in Tijuana, probably come up missing? Because that Tijuana is a big tourist place. You know, there's places in Mexico that people, Cozumel, different aspects of Mexico people go to and they don't come back. You know what I'm saying? So we've been over here thinking that we tough, but honey, don't try to go down there and think you tough. Trust me.
You niggas is high. You see? And so what you think they doing when they come, you think coming on, even if it is some good ones, close that shit down. It should be a heavy screening process to make sure none of this shit get into the United States. Because you already know what it's going to bring. So when motherfuckers say, oh, these motherfuckers, that's a goddamn lie. All these motherfuckers ain't good motherfuckers. A lot of them motherfuckers are just like this. They think they could get in the United States. And what they do, just like any military, they get some of their own on the ground. And so you got the motherfucking cartels in these other countries that got the dope. They got their peoples on the ground. They transport the dope into the United States, get it into the hands of their people, and they facilitate a drug genocide on the urban communities of the United States. It's just like dropping.
Right, because why are they going into the black communities with this crazy stuff? Why did they just bust these people from the border into the center of Chicago where the black people are, into the Philadelphia, into the black neighborhoods, and so they can fight amongst each other? You know what I'm saying? And just see if it can sort itself out. And I blame the Democrats for that. What is going on with that? You know what I'm saying? Why was that allowed to happen? Why was y'all giving them money and giving them access to like funds and all this other stuff? You know, people say, well, that didn't happen. Yes, it did. I was able to pull that up. I was on Sonetta the other day and I wish I could like show you where I was on there and I was pulling it up. Like, yes, they were giving them cards. They were giving them places to stay. They were giving them shelter and all that stuff. And then they would go out and create, wreck shop, going into the black communities, fighting with the gangs that are there that are probably, you know what I'm saying? Now, not to say that one gang is better than the other, but at least probably within that gang, they probably know, hey, listen, I know we don't fool with Mr. So-and-so shop, or we don't do this or whatever. There's probably rules, but these people don't have no rules. They don't care about the community that they live in, because they're just like, you know, listen, we're gonna dominate. And then I found out that the cartels were actually even dominating in the prison system and started to overtake the prison system in America. I mean, so he's right about that. We have to actually think about like on top of the tariffs, like this, like just like talking about the illegal alien aspect and people that were coming through the border illegally. Everybody was not just somebody's mom trying to make it through. It was some gangsters. They were letting people out of prisons in South America and bringing them over to America. They were just, I think, one country just let all the prisoners out, and they just all made a trek over to America and started wreaking havoc, y'all. So let's not forget that. You know what I'm saying? When we get into politics, we forget stuff over time. We have, because the way that they like kind of feed us information, you know, what'll happen is that we'll be talking about the immigrants and everything, and then the plane will blow up in 15 different places, different planes, and we'll forget that this is going on over here. We need to like start paying attention. Do not get taken over by the psychological operation that's going on with the media, and how the media will focus on one thing and you forget about something else.
The nuclear bomb in China and all this fentanyl and all this shit they putting in the dope. You motherfuckers got to be mad. This is the best thing for black people. Close and see. You know what? Listen to me when I say this, because some of you motherfuckers is illiterate. We're not saying that people can't come to the United States and legally.
Hold on. I want to also say something. Everybody don't like the way he talked. They say, "Oh, he cursed too much. He do this or whatever." We're all adults here. Let's stop pretending like, oh my God, why are they speaking? Why was he cursing so much? Like, no, forget the messenger and how the message. Did you get the message though? Do you hear what he's saying? You know what I'm saying? Because people get like mad and get all bent out of shape. Oh, why does he have to say it like that? But at this point, we should be past niceties at this point. It's a lot going on in this world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Overdose don't look nice. It's not like a kind thing when somebody overdose and pass, so won't pay pass on. So we should not be mad because he cursing about this. That's one thing that black people do. We really first focus on somebody's hair, how they look, or how they talking, and miss the whole freaking message. Let's
go through the you know the proper way of becoming a citizen, screening, finding out, just like a nigga or anybody else. You go to a job, they're gonna do a background check on your ass. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, even getting a house and shit, motherfucker gonna run a background check on you. They're gonna run all your motherfucking shit. They're gonna find out about you. Why is it that we live in a society where they run us through the goddamn, you know, they run us through every screening process in the world to get anything we want? And here these motherfuckers can walk right in and they act like, you know, they don't hear when we say, motherfucker, you got to go through the proper way of doing shit. You know, we got to do the same shit in the motherfucking United States. So why do you think you can forfeit, you know, the proper way of doing shit, and why everybody else that's citizens in this motherfucker
and get funding and get food stamps and get a place to stay, and then we over here hollering about reparations? Honey, they got our reparations. They got whatever money we supposed to get 40 acres of a mule, because honey, they giving that to them for doing nothing.
You know, they got to go through the screening processes. We can't forfeit the goddamn, whatever the process it is, the drive. You got to go down to the DMV, get your driver's license, get your insurance. You miss any one of them motherfuckers, they pull you over, nigga, you're getting tickets, you're going to jail, you're going to pay the price. They don't want to pay no price. Who the fuck do they think they are? Fuck you. Go through the proper process. If you illegal and you break into this country, you should get your ass put out of here. What as simple as that? I mean, that's simple. I mean, they do that all over the goddamn world. I mean, y'all acting like it's countries where you could just walk in. What country is that?
Right. There is no country you could just walk in. They complaining over there. They had a riot going on in the UK where illegal immigrants was coming over the border from Africa. Why do we think that we are any different, that we should just accept everybody in because we're the land of the so-called free and home of the so-called brave and all this other stuff? You know what I'm saying? We need to understand that this is that aspect is necessary. You know, it's kind of sad. There's going to be some people that get caught up in that probably were not gangsters or whatever, but they were here illegally. They should have went through the proper channels. No offense, because if I don't go through the proper channels and I don't have my insurance and I get pulled over, they're going to tow my car. Period. I might lose my license. I might get a suspended license, have to pay a fine. Why does everybody else feel like, oh, well, no, that's wrong? You know what I'm saying? Well, you chose to come over here without having the right documentation, going through the proper steps. So we should not sit up here, and they're asking us to come in and, well, the black people need to come in, the FBAs and the black people need to come in, and they need to like speak for us. And and help us out. Well, y'all wasn't trying to help us. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wasn't up there marching and stuff when people was getting decayed by police officers.
I don't know no goddamn country in the world that just let people walk through their border. So what the fuck is y'all talking about? Why is this so hard for people to understand? Okay, now we ain't done. We ain't goddamn done. We was on Tijuana, number 6, Celaya, Mexico, 740 murders. That's with a 742,000. Now that motherfucker is 3 times less than Chicago, and got the year when Chicago had 700 murders or something. You understand? Here Chicago 3 million, and here this city is 700,000, and motherfucker they got 100 murders per 100,000. Then you got this one fucking.
We need to take that into account, like the people that are coming over here. Hey, what's up, House of Consciousness? Hey, I want you to come up here and talk to me about this, because I'm agreeing with Seti on this. I'm like, dude, why should we feel sad that these people are getting sent back? Is the tariffs, a good or a bad thing? They're Canada's mad, China's mad, Mexico's mad, and they're all like kind of probably team up together. Who knows, But I mean, at the end of the day, I think that Trump is trying to do what he can to probably crash the economy and try to start from scratch. You know what I'm saying? And that is going to be tough. However, when it really comes down to the immigrants, they were bringing in drugs into the community. They were bum rushing our communities. If they would have came over here and been law-abiding citizens and did the right thing, I don't even think that Trump probably would have said all that. They could have proved Trump wrong by coming over here, getting jobs, whatever, but they did not do that. The moment they came into and got bused to whatever area they were in, they wrecked shop. They teamed up together, got their gangs together, and they created havoc in the Black community. So should we be sitting up here trying to support them and try to get behind them and this, that, the other? Because they wasn't doing that to us. I mean, where was the Mexicans going into those people and saying, listen, y'all need to chill out. We're allies with the Black community. You don't do that in their community. Go somewhere else with that. Where were those people? You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I mean, that's what I say. You know what I'm saying? So,
no, you what is it pronounced? Uruapan Mexico.
He's trying to pronounce
282 murders in a city that's 360,000. That's 78 murders per 100,000. New Orleans happened to make it in. I don't know what year this was. And so New Orleans happened to make it in at number 8, 266 murders that year. So that's 266. That's a whole lot of people. It's way over. I'm not minimizing it. But see, this is how I know motherfuckers talk shit. And they really talk about Black America and they don't know what the fuck they talk. They always talking about we the worst in the world. You's a goddamn lie. And even in that New Orleans, they always talk about Black people. Yeah, Black people is a large percentage of New Orleans. All them murders ain't by Black people. So when they sit up here and say, but in them goddamn countries where it's all Mexico, that's all them. That's 100% of them. Ain't no niggas down there killing in them goddamn numbers. So when people talk about Black America is the worst, you's a motherfucking lie. You don't know what you talking about. I'm sick of motherfuckers, man. Just running off at their mouth and they ain't got no facts whatsoever. Period. So here the first city that.
Honey, I know this video may or may not be monetized after this, but I just wanted to get you know what? At this point, it need to be cussed out. You know what I'm saying? It need a good cussing out. All this crazy stuff going on. This stuff can't be handled with like a soft like palate. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this, that, the other, da, 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 and let me just like try to censor myself and this, that, the other. No. I believe that, he's right about what he's saying at the end of the day. Like, he's right. So, I mean, he's making a lot of sense here. I mean, all those killings down there and murders down there in Mexico, and then these same people are coming across the border. What do you think they're going to do here?
Come in New Orleans with 266 murders. That's hell of a out of control. It need to be corrected. Okay, and so then right up under New Orleans, we go right back to Mexico. So out of the top 10 cities, the 9 of the top 10 was from Mexico. The goddamn nation was right up under us. So you got one up, and the one up under New Orleans, listen to this. It's called, I don't know how to pronounce that. Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. 1,000, right back up, 1,000 murders. Do you see what I'm saying? A city with 1.5 million. So 1,000. So you got cities in the South South America and Central America, over 1,000 murders, 2,000 murders. What the fuck is y'all talking about? God damn. You see what I'm saying? No, we're not the worst on the planet. This is an illusion, man. We got
Exactly. So they tried to like create the illusion that we are just so unruly and so out of control and this, that, the other. But you see other countries that got a way bigger killing rates and all that stuff like that of people. You know what I'm saying? And who do you think that's how can we control that? Who comes over the border that got this going on? When they like are going, I showed you the 60 minutes thing. They're ditching their passports and all their paperwork the moment they get on American soil. So you don't even know who this person is. You know, I like to order DoorDash. I don't even know who the hell is coming to my door sometimes. They can't even speak English sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And who knows who that could be? You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it.
to quit, lying on ourselves. We be lying on our motherfucking selves. We ain't nowhere near where they at. These motherfuckers that lost their mind. Number 10, Acapulco, Mexico. Number 10, 513 murders in a city that's 782,000, 65 murders. Then you go to Brazil, Masoro, Brazil, 167 murders in a city that's only 264,000. That's 63 murders per 100,000. Now let's go to Cape Town, South Africa. This shit is crazy. Cape Town, South Africa had 3,000 murders, 2,998 murders. A city that's 4.7 million people. That's 63.
Man, that's crazy. That is crazy, y'all. That's crazy. Imagine if they were at the border. Lord have mercy, what would happen? And I've been to South Africa. I remember back when the epidemic was hitting really hard when they first was with the AIDS epidemic, and I remember there was times where that people were getting raped in South Africa because they felt like a virgin would cure them of the virus. So I know for a fact I've been down there how treacherous it is down in Cape Town. It's very dangerous, and don't fool around. And next might be Johannesburg. He probably gonna mention because Johannesburg is way more treacherous than Cape Town. So all these countries have way bigger murder rates, but we always get like the end of the stick where they're trying to like say that we are the bad, we are the most dangerous people, we're the most whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then they come over here and get all like these benefits, like they're just like these innocent souls is coming over here, or they just like looking to like leave their country for whatever reason. Honey, they done probably did something wild over there and trying to escape whatever penalty they got coming to them. You know what I'm saying? So let's get real. Let's go. Let's get
3 murders per 100,000. There are 3,000 murders in Cape Town. Araputo, we going right back to Mexico, 539 murders. 14 Mexico. This is in the world, man. Mexico is the worst motherfucking country as far as goddamn crime and murder than any country on the planet. Mexico. God damn. That's crazy.
If you add that up, they
Durban,
are, man.
South Africa, 2,405 murders in South Africa. South Africa is off the chain. South Africa is off the chain. You hear motherfuckers, you're talking about what black Americans, man, goddamn, South, and we love our people, but this is something going wrong down there, man. We ain't gonna talk about like what's going on, family. Yeah. And then here we go, 16, Kingston. Ain't you good niggas in Jamaica? And we love you, family, but you be talking about what's we doing. Goddamn, Kingston is 16. You see 722 murders in a city that's 1.2 million people. That's 58 murders. God damn it. So y'all got a lot of what's going in, and right up under Jamaica is Baltimore with 33. So Baltimore is ignorant. But see, so Baltimore,
they got way more people. You know what I'm saying? They hitting on way more people. So okay, so the per capita of that rate is not the same as other countries. So bottom line is that we're over here thinking that we are just like these whatever evil people that are doing this. We're looking down on ourselves, but we don't even have any idea or did the research into the rest of the world because we're so closed off into a box, and we're just so focused on because America is so huge. That's a lot of times we could be blind to what's going on anywhere else. We need to start traveling. No, well, shoot, I'd be afraid to travel with all that nonsense going on. I don't know.
Got 333 murders in a city that's
be careful when you travel.
76,000. So that's 57 murders. That's out of control, Baltimore. We got to get it together, family. We got to get it together, Kingston. We got to, we got to get it together down there. But don't be coming with that holier than thou, because there's some crazy shit going on. You feel me? Nelson Mandela Bay, South Africa, 678 murders. Now, I'm not going to go down all these motherfuckers, but look at this shit. Salvador, Brazil, 200,000 murders. Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Whenever this was, I don't know. This was 2020.
200,000 murders. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Me too. So shit, it probably worse now with all that shit going on. 1,596 murders. Port-au-Prince, Brazil, another city, Manaus, 1,000 murders in a city that's 202 million. You see, another city in Brazil. So Brazil ignorant too. Brazil, another ignorant. Then you get down to Detroit. Detroit had 300, and this was in 2022. Detroit was 23. I'm ashamed, that we on this goddamn list. Any which way it goes, shame.
Shouts out Detroit, but
in a list like this, 309 murders in a city that got 632,000. That's 48 murders. That's 48 murders per 100,000. And I remember when it was worse than that. You know what I'm saying? And I admit that. You understand what I'm saying? They just show you after a while you didn't killed up so many motherfuckers that whoever left either flee, everybody else is dead or in the prison and shit, and everybody else then fled. And everybody else that's still.
That's why the hell I got up from out there. And then they fooled around and started like cutting off funding for the schools. And so the Detroit issue was because of government funding. They began to like cut off, and they probably did the same thing in Baltimore. All the cities that he's naming in America is because of the government just turned their back on these areas. You know what I'm saying? They stopped funding certain educational programs. Like people are dropouts, they, don't have no like education, and then they end up. It's called a prison, school to prison pipeline. That's a whole thing that's going on in America. I don't know what the excuse in these other countries are, because if they say that, well, we have all this other free healthcare and this, that, the other, and blah 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 blah. Okay, but you also have all this other stuff going on, and all this crime. So
and it's just a reminiscence of the aftermath. The children that's coming up and shit, and hopefully that they have a brighter future than them 80s and 90s and shit in 2000 that depleted Detroit by half. Detroit used to be 1.2 million, and it's been depleted by over half of its population. You understand? Greater than any goddamn city in the United States.
Here's the thing, and that's sad about Detroit, what's going on and how they did that. But what they ended up doing is they also ended up cutting off resources and all type of stuff, government resources, getting rid of certain black business areas and stuff like that, putting up baseball stadiums in those areas. So Detroit got a very unique story, you know what I'm saying? Because there was that whole white flight that happened. There was like the burning down of like neighborhoods, that some of the burning down was happening by the fire department. There's a lot going on with that Detroit thing that is historical. But I would say this, when it really comes down to it, we talking about the drugs that was coming into our country. All right, they was coming from South America into Detroit, into Baltimore, into Louisiana, all these places that he's mentioning, where you have these things that you make them on the list of the highest murder rate. You have the highest drug trafficking and all that stuff as well. And who are we getting the drugs from? The exact places that were responsible. That
by half of its population. You understand what I'm saying? From probably in the last 20-some years, 25 to 30 years, Detroit been depleted by half of its population. Like, what the fuck? Ecuador, 1,537. Memphis is on here too. You see? So it is some United States on here, but and I'm not saying this to say nothing, but we further down than what we got to steal. Them in some high percentages now. Them in some Cleveland is on there, 168 murders in a city that's 367,000. That's 45 murders per 100,000. Memphis was on there in 2022. It had 302 murders in 600 in a city that's 632. So them is high numbers, but that could be turned around. You could cut that in half. You can get that shit down. But them cities where it's 200,000, 2,000, 1,500, 1,000, it's some, what the fuck is going on? You see?
But here's the thing: is that if you cut out the drug trade, then you don't have all those murders. All those murders that you probably have domestic stuff or whatever, but that's a matter of mental health and all this other stuff. But when you get into what's really happening in those cities that he's mentioning, Memphis, Detroit, Cleveland, all that stuff is based on drug trafficking.
Another one in Brazil, 167,000. Colombia, Cali, Colombia, 1,000. Johannesburg, we back in South Africa.
Told you it was on the list.
2,547 murders. Cliff, I get it, Right Cliff, Brazil, 1,494. You see? And so, yeah, United States is on here. And any way it go, if you end up on the top 50 worst cities in the world, it don't make no difference where you at. Philadelphia made it on, it's down at 46. That ain't good. 506 murders in a city that's 1.5 million, 76,000. That's 32. So yeah, it's some ugly shit from the United States. But our shit could be turned around. Some of these cities, man, some of these countries that up under here, like for sure, Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, man, please, y'all stay y'all ass where y'all at. Don't bring that shit up here. We got enough shit going on, we got enough shit going on that we need to work on. But our shit could be worked on. You know what I'm saying? Our shit could be worked on. 206, that's way too many murders. That's 266 too many, New Orleans, and that was in 2022. What's the other one? Baltimore, 333 murders. That's 333 too goddamn many. You feel me? Detroit, 309 murders. That's 309 too goddamn many. Cleveland, 168. That's 168 too goddamn many. Got to close the border. You got to. You can't leave it open for, you can't just leave the border open. If you illegal, you need to be deported. With murder rates like what's up under Mexico, it is no way a motherfucker should be coming across that border and have not properly been screened. There's no way. There is no excuse for it. You see, come through the border the proper way, get gang citizenship, let people know you in this motherfucker, let them run your background check, see who you are, just like they do everybody else in this country. And deport and goddamn it, and come back the right way. You see, come back the right way. And the drug cartels should be labeled as terrorists. You've been feeding the goddamn United States citizens poison all these goddamn years, and the government has been in on it. They've been in on it to their own detriment. They thought a lot of times that the dope was just gonna come to the black community, but a lot of they people became even bigger dope fiends. And so,
he is speaking nothing but truth and really spitting facts, you guys. I'm not going to play any more of the video. I want you to really go and check out General Seti. I thank you guys for watching. I did want to get into this one thing where he talked about, where Ronald Reagan talked about how our allies, when it really comes down to tariffs and stuff like that, how they're not our enemies and this, that, the other. So I wanted to show this. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Let me have to restart. Hold on. Sorry about that. I hope that all right. So so I took that video off. I'm about to show President Reagan and how he felt about like our ally, because there's like all these tariffs about to kick in, and this is what Republican President Ronald Reagan had to say about when it really came down to understanding our allies versus etc. So let's hear what he had to say.
Our peaceful trading partners are not our enemies. They are our allies. We should beware of the demagogues who are ready to declare a trade war against our friends, weakening our economy, our national security, and the entire free world, all while cynically waving the American flag. The expansion of the international economy is not a foreign invasion. It is an American triumph, one we worked hard to achieve, and something central to our vision of a peaceful and prosperous world of freedom. Our peaceful trading partners are not our enemies. They are our allies. We should beware of the demagogues who are ready to declare a trade war against our friends, weakening our economy, our national security, and the entire free world, all while cynically waving the American flag.
So, I don't know. What do y'all think about this? This is just food for thought. I don't know exactly. I don't have I'm not on one side or the other. I really don't know what to think because I think it's all, what I'm saying? You never exactly know what the real end game is. Of course, they're not going to tell us, but, Trump did say it was going to be hard. It's going to be some hard times, but eventually it's going to even out. And what it sounds like to me is that, he wants to be the savior. So he's going to bring us down to nothing and then bring us back up into, I don't know. But I mean, listen, if anyone has any more information about this whole thing, please send it to my IG. My IG is right here, DJ Genesis Detroit. Also, please support this channel. I do this for the love of, bringing content. This is like, I don't really make a lot of money on this channel, but I continue to bring you the information because, I feel like it's important. So thank you so much. Make sure that you are subscribed. If you're not getting your notifications because I'm using StreamYard, I don't know, just check here every once in a while if I might be live because sometimes YouTube does not send out the notifications. If I'm not like streaming directly on YouTube, it won't send out the notification. So just make sure that you have all clicked on notifications so that you see all the videos when I'm actually going live. And then let me know if you're not seeing notifications so I can get with YouTube and find out what's going on. With that said, I thank you for being here. Shouts out, much love, and peace.
Alchemize your energy. Darling, let your spirit be free. Don't give up. Keep on pushing through. Now is the time. It's all up to you. Alchemize your energy. My friend, let your spirit be free. Don't give up, keep on pushing through. Now is the time, it's all up to you. No matter the storm, but over tragedy. No matter the storm, but over tragedy. No matter the storm, we will always take flight. Keep on pushing through the darkness of night. There's no limit, let's reach for the sky. Shine so bright, from darkness to light.